What is going on, everyone? My name is Tabz, and of course you guys know that, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be looking at the Envision cheats paid cheat, and we're going to be doing our breakdowns a little bit differently from now on when it comes to cheat showcases. We're going to be going over a 7-step system for this breakdown. We're going to go through menu design, aimbot, triggerbot, visuals, util system, miscellaneous features, and the config system. So let's start right now by logging into the loader and injecting the premium cheat from Envision Cheats.
Hard drive loaded up, stable and coded.
So hopping right into the menu design, it is very much like the original Envision that we went over just a couple days ago. So starting out, we have Aimbot. You have your global rifles, op, scout, SMG, deagle, and pistol. We have our visuals for player, world, and miscellaneous. We have our MISC options here for hit marker, custom crosshair, and more MISC within MISC. And then we have an additional miscellaneous menu for the overlay / cheat settings and the menu settings. And then from there, we have our configs, which are right here, and they do seem to be local. There is no cloud. Jumping into aimbot, we have our enable and our mouse button, our show FOV, our FOV smoothing, aim start time and aim time, as well as our hitbox selection. And you can do everything from head to pelvis, and you can choose multiple hitboxes. We do have our triggerbot here, which is currently on mouse button 4, and our delay is set to 0.14 seconds. We also have our recoil control system, where our recoil X and Y are both set to 0.80, and our recoil is going to adjust our FOV. Over in checks, we do have aimbot flash check, visible check, and flash check for triggerbot. I would always recommend taking visibility check off if you're going to be playing on custom maps, because parsing is not always available for those, and it will mess with your aimbot. So let's go over the aimbot settings that I currently have set up. So as you can see, it is very legit, and if I go just outside of the FOV zone and just tap, we're going to see how much it pulls every time I click. So because there is a slight delay to the aim time, we can remove that by simply opening the menu, going to aim time or aim start time and turning that to 0. That means it will automatically start to pull with every single click, and I don't have to shoot multiple times. So as you can see, every time I clicked, it did pull itself. Now, if you wanted that to be faster, you could obviously change that in the smoothing, but I like my smoothing super high because it looks a little bit more legit. Anyways, we're going to do a couple spray downs. So, going over triggerbot, we are lacking just a little bit, and that is because there is no in-between shot delay. So, that was a good example about in-between shot delay. It's hitting, but if you miss like that, it's going to continuously fire. Not bad overall, but could use a little bit of an update. Over in the visual settings here, we have players, world, and MISC. In players, we have our enable key if you want to keybind this. So if I put this to mouse button 3, and then I close the menu and do mouse button 3, you'll see that every time I click it with that audible cue for the ping, it does turn off and on. Now I'm on a ping cooldown. So we do have name, box, and cornered box. If you enable box or corner box, it will override the previous selection. We do have the custom colors by simply clicking. We also have our box size, so you can change that to Minecraft size if you really wanted to. We have box fill here, which currently I have is just a little bit of a darker black, just to set that orange apart from the foreground and the background. We also have armor here, which you can see on the right side of the players. We also have weapon ammo, which will not be visible at the moment as they are all holding knives, and weapon icon. We don't have an option for weapon text, although I don't think you really need it. If you play this game enough, you'll know what each gun is. Over here in players, we have skeleton and skeleton color, the thickness of said skeleton, where it almost to the point shows each individual bone is almost like a hitbox, but of course you can keep that lower, or you can even put it to a 1.5 if you want it to stick out a little bit more. 1.3 honestly doesn't look bad. We do have health here, which you can change a custom color for, but currently I have it set up just the way the cheat likes to. We also have a glow effect for the ESP, so you can change that, and that's going to be changing the overlay that it's drawing just for the actual ESP itself and not for the player, as this is a external cheat. Going over to world though, we have weapons and grenades. We also have nades enabled for grenade lines, length, thickness, and Molotov area, which this will draw a Molotov area. So we could set that to, let's say, yellow. So with the menu here now closed, I can then switch to a Molotov and throw that on the ground. That sound was just happening because it was consistently hitting this map's start button. That's what Molotov area means when it talks about where the Molotov is going to land, how much it's going to take up. It's going to show you the damage zone. Spectator list, we have spectator, which you can see is enabled on the left, bomb, info, and location, which you can see here. It'll say site A or B, defuse time, and how long until the bomb explodes, and the color will change based on whether or not you're going to be able to defuse it. We have external radar, enable overlay on in-game, so if you click that, it will actually draw this overlay over the real radar right here, and that will work much better if you're in an actual map that it has parsing for. You can also change the border color and border size. You can do enemy, enemy custom color, teammates, teammate custom color, drop guns, and grenades. In the first miscellaneous, we do have hit markers, so you can enable that, do the render time, the volume, and the sound. You can do COD. In the misc, you have ignore teammates and recoil crosshair, as well as dark mode. And if you pull that, you can see it gets darker and darker. Obviously, with the menu closed, it's not going to be as dark, as the menu does render a dark overlay over your game. Custom crosshair, we have our crosshair here, only on snipers, disable all scope, and you can change the width, height, gap, and thickness, just like you can in the base game. Moving over to the secondary options misc, we have overlay cheat settings. Full stream proof is going to make it just completely disappear. As you can see, it's almost like I'm not injected. And even though it's fully stream proofed, as you can see when I click this, if you do want to be able to use this, this will work on monitor capture on OBS. That's how I'm actually recording this video. But you will be able to hide it from window capture, from game capture, and monitor capture through full stream proof. The one thing you cannot hide it from, which this is the case with most cheats, is if you have an NVIDIA GPU or an AMD GPU and you are using the built-in recorder such as this one, this will still pick up the cheat, as this is natively recording what your GPU is outputting. It simply cannot hide from that. Make sure that in your recording settings, which I think mine are up here, make sure that your video capture is not sent to desktop overlay capture. Make sure this is off so that I can only record the game window itself. We also have vertical synchronization, the max frame rate that the cheat is allowed to render at, as well as the dark background, escape on menu open, menu toggle key, and unload/exit. So the config system on Envision is basically just a localized config system. You're going to type in your config name, you're going to create it, you're going to save it, you can load, delete, or refresh the list. And if you're wanting to put the config that I'm using currently into your own config system, you guys can become a member for 99 cents to the channel. And this is how you're going to upload my config. First, you're going to go to your C drive on your computer, and then you're going to go to Envision, CS2, and this is where you'll put the config file right here. Yours will also be here if you create a new one. This is being uploaded to my Discord as we speak. So overall, for $9.99, we're talking about safety and security, as well as how the cheat performs. As you guys can see, we are locked in. Like if I do some craziness, the actual ESP is sticking to the target extremely well. The only thing I have to complain about is there is no viz check in terms of ESP. As you guys can see, when I go like this, they are completely visible. Your viz check is going to be being able to see the actual target or not, which if you're a skilled enough cheater, you're going to be able to hide. But when we go through the menu here and we simply look at the visuals, there is no viz check, unfortunately. This is something that I wish that they had, but it's just not here, and it's something that they can easily add in a future update. But no viz check is kind of odd from a $10 cheat, but all around, I do like the visual performance. Once viz check is added, I think this would be an absolutely great option for a first-time external buyer. And if you guys want to see a gameplay video, let me know, and I can possibly do that in the next 2 weeks for you, depending on my schedule. But let's get this video to 200 likes if that's something you guys want to see, and I'll definitely talk to the guys over at Envision for it. And remember, use code TABZ on checkout, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, bros. Peace.
What?